Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. Hope you guys uh, had a great breakfast, right? For those of you who are just tuning in, welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once more. Yes, we have 10 participants so far, I believe. Okay. Okay. So, brothers and sisters. Do we have sisters? Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh once more for the third time. Right? That's when the baraka really hits. This webinar, as you guys know, is put together by Adl Advisory, the Malaysian-based Sharia advisory firm, in collaboration with AAOIFI, right, the most widely adopted and accepted Sharia accounting and auditing standard-setting body in the Islamic finance industry. Now, to start off, I'd like to thank both Mr. Mughees, Shaukat, from AAOIFI, as well as our dear Mufti, Dr. Yousuf Sultan from Adl Advisory, for taking from their hectic schedules to be with us today to share some very valuable insights with us regarding today's webinar. Now, without further ado, let's delve into the topic at hand. So, as shown on the screen, the title for today's webinar is Unpacking and Preparing for AAOIFI's new fellowship program and certification exams. All right, Mr. Shaukat has joined us. Very nice to see you, Mr. Shaukat. Wonderful. Are you with us? Mr. Shaukat? Mr. Mughees, everything good? Oh, he's muted at the moment. But it's fine. We just wanted to acknowledge your presence. Thank you for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, wonderful. Okay. I was just giving the introduction before we get into the matter. As I was saying, the topic for today's webinar is unpacking and preparing for AAOIFI's new or the latest fellowship programs and certification exams. Now, a quick background. This is the background that I wrote. Now, the Islamic finance industry presents itself as an alternative to the global financial system that is conventional, right? In essence, heavily interest-based. Now, leaders of the Islamic finance industry have introduced various instruments and products across the relevant sectors aimed at achieving the maslahah, which is the benefits for all, and doing away with financial dealings that go against the spirit and intent of Islam, i.e. the maqasid al-sharia. Now, these objectives were deduced from divine injunctions to uphold justice, equity, and goodness. Right? Numerous verses such as وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. Allah also mentions in the Quran, وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Right? Calling upon Muslims to avoid elements or transactions that involve cheating, deception, or bribery. Allah mentions in other places of the Quran, وأحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. Right? إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب, and so many other verses that indicate that the essence of financial transactions is to achieve the maslahah, the benefit for all Muslims and non-Muslims alike. Now, in enforcing these principles within the Islamic finance industry, one of the key challenges has been standardization, right, in relation to the guidelines and standards. Different jurisdictions within the Islamic finance industry have adopted different frameworks. Accordingly, the likes of AAOIFI have developed comprehensive standards in an attempt to standardize the industry's Sharia governance framework. Not only that, they've also introduced standardized certification exams and fellowship programs for people like you and I, who are interested in developing quality understanding of Islamic finance practices and thereafter offer innovative and viable solutions. Today, inshallah, we're going to unpack such certification exams and fellowship programs introduced by AAOIFI. Now, speaking on them are two very, very special guests whose resumes speak for themselves. The first of them is Dr. Mr. Mughees Shaukat, who is a global Islamic finance strategist, a policy advisor, and senior manager at AAOIFI. He acquired a specialization in fintech and digital banking from MIT, the United States of America. And among many other things, he is an Islamic banking advisor and has won numerous acclaimed awards, such as GIFA, like the Global Islamic Finance Award, by the President of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, as well as the FinTech Leader of the Year in 2020 by the Republic of Turkey. Now, alongside him, we have another well-respected figure, an expert in the Islamic finance industry, Dr. Mufti Yousuf Sultan, who is the founder and CEO. Right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's an echo. Never mind. Go ahead, Brother Sano.
Okay, right. So I was mentioning that Dr. Yousuf is the founder and CEO of the Malaysian-based firm Adl Advisory, as well as the co-founder of the Bangladesh-based firm IFA Consultancy, both of which offer Islamic finance advisory and consultancy services, as well as conduct training programs. Mufti Yousuf is a registered Sharia advisor with Malaysia's Security Commission and a member of several Sharia committees, including Standard Chartered Sadiq Malaysia. He holds an MSc as well as a PhD from INSEF University. Together with his qualified team at Adl Advisory that has undergone AAOIFI certification exams, we hope to fulfill the advisory and education needs of members within the IF industry. Brothers and sisters, rest assured that today we are in good hands. So the outline of the webinar is as follows, or rather the flow. Dr. Yousuf will begin by highlighting the value proposition right after giving his opening speech. And then Dr. Mughees will come in and unpack the said updates or the innovations within the IOP's fellowship programs and certification exams. He will also go on to highlight the pricing scheme and the exam dates for each of them, right? In the end, we would obviously want to hear from the esteemed participants, so we'll open the floor for Q&A. All right, so without further ado, Dr. Yousuf Sultan, you have the floor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and thank you so much, Brother Mohamed Sano, and thank you so much, Brother Mughees Shaukat, for joining us from Bahrain, as well as all the esteemed participants, those who are within Zoom, as well as who are watching us over Facebook Live. Also, those who will be watching us later on, perhaps in the social media. I would like to congratulate IOP, first of all, for coming up with a lot of new certification programs, each of which comes with a lot of value propositions for the industry. I think I will speak in more detail later on after we hear from Brother Mohamed Mughees. The idea for the webinar today is to understand the valuable positions of the certifications and fellowship programs of IOP, particularly the new ones. We have been receiving a lot of questions from various parts of the world about the structure of the programs, the curriculum of the programs, as well as the fees, registration dates, exam dates, etc. So perhaps we can hear from Brother Mughees first, and then inshallah I will add up. Thank you so much. Off to you, Brother Mughees.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us, from whichever part of this beautiful planet Earth that Allah has blessed us. Make sure to take care of that as much as we can. Brother Yousuf, Brother Mohamed Sano, I mean, it is always a pleasure to share the forum with you and to make sure that, we are serving common objectives that relate to the development of Islamic finance, be it educational, human skill development, and capacity creation, which is the motto of today. Am I allowed to share the slides, gentlemen? Would you allow me to share some slides so I can just run a few slides and then, can at least demonstrate what
yes,
we have
you should
on
be.
offer.
One second, yeah. I think you can start speaking while we are trying to solve this for the Mughees. Just a few seconds.
So basically, brother Yousuf, as you know, the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institutions, IOFI, being the most, in fact, the only premier standard-setting body in Islamic finance relating to Sharia, governance, auditing, accounting, takaful, even ethics and whatnot, we leave no stone unturned to ensure a comprehensive and all-inclusive development of Islamic finance. And this is where the capacity creation of Islamic finance becomes so much important, because what we produce, to implement what we produce, needs understanding of what we produce. And given all of it is related to the theoretical, operational, regulatory, and all the spheres that run Islamic finance in a rather smoother fashion, understanding of them, knowledge creation of them, skill development over them, and internalization of them, so that the adoption of these beautiful standards and hence the smoother implementation to take forward the industry in a global spectrum in a rather unified fashion becomes that much more important. So for us, although being a premier standard setting body, capacity creation becomes an inbuilt mechanic for us to assure that what we produce is also what is well understood before implementation. And this is where the whole mantra, the whole notion, and the whole effort of capacity building from AAOIFI is given birth from. Now, AAOIFI does this, currently speaking, in a variety of manners. Among the top is the fact that we are offering these beautiful programs, what we call as the, can you see my slides, gentlemen?
Yes, yes.
Very good.
Maybe you can,
So
maybe you can make it full screen.
Among them are these what we call as AAOIFI fellowship programs. AAOIFI fellowship program. Right now, AAOIFI fellow, again, remember the bottom line. The bottom line is the all comprehensive standards that we produce, covering all the major segments of Islamic finance, be it Sharia, be it accounting, be it governance, be it auditing, and plus, for them to be implemented, understanding of them in building a theoretical and practical and implementative and operational and regulatory base of Islamic finance. Because if you study all this standard, you A to Z study the whole gamut of Islamic finance. So this is very, very important for us to craft this capacity building in such a unique manner that addresses the needs in a mass-oriented manner. The first and foremost things that we thought it's very, very important to train a people, to skill develop people on the very standard itself that covers the full spectrum of Islamic finance. And as you know, as I mentioned again, that the standards carry enormous importance for Sharia development, accounting, auditing, and governance development mainly. We designed what we call as the fellowship programs. Now, initially, we started as with only 2 fellowship programs. One was related to accounting stream, and the other was related to Sharia stream. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Yani Allah Ta'ala helped us so much, and we were able to create so much mass penetration that all of these certificates required not only much more sustainability, but a sustainability for this knowledge base that is much more attuned to the recent developments from the AAOIFI and from the Islamic financial and globally. So this is why every now and then, almost every yearly or twice a year basis, we always upgrade our programs vis-a-vis new standard developments, vis-a-vis new developments, and overall happenings of Islamic finance in all these 4 domains. So what started as 2 fellowship programs, and this is only first stream of AAOIFI. Remember, AAOIFI does capacity building and a variety of streams. This is the first stream. First stream is AAOIFI fellowship programs. So these fellowship programs were started as only 2 programs, given this demand, given the thirst, given the impact that it carries and continues to build to the overall industry. We are now in a position where the 2 has turned into 5 fellowship programs. And when I say 5 fellowship programs, first being the Certified Islamic Professional Accountant, the second being the CPFAS, which is a sister certificate for the CIPA, that's a Certified Islamic Professional Accountant, Certificate of Proficiency in Financial Accounting Standards. The other 2, in fact, the other 3 relate to Sharia governance, Sharia standards, and Sharia audit. First being, which was is a new one called Certified Sharia Expert, the CSC. The second one is a Certified Sharia Auditor, the CSA. And the third one in the Sharia domain is the Certificate of Proficiency in Sharia Standards. Now, please note one very important thing. Remember, previously, there were two only certificates, the CIPA, CIPA, and CSAA, the Certified Sharia Advisor and Auditor. Now, CIPA both started as one paper each. There was one exam, and you qualify that single exam, and you qualify yourself to be called a CIPA or CSA. With time, with the developments, with the enhancement, with the demand, with the impact in consideration, the CIPA was then revamped to enhance itself. What used to be one exam to 4 exams. Now they are CIPA. The same CIPA now carries 4 modules. 4 modules covering, the accounting standard, the Sharia governance standards, the banking and regulatory environment, and so on and so forth. 4 standards, 4 modules. CSAA remained as a single base exam. So while CIPA was attuned and developed further, given the demand and thrust and sustainability of the same, CSAA remained the single exam. Fast forward, again based on the same dynamics, CSAA then was replaced by what we now call as the Certificate of Proficiency in Sharia Standards, CPSS. While I say that, let me just write it over here. I mean, CPSS, the red one, the Certificate of Proficiency in Sharia Standards. CSAA is now replaced by the CPSS, this Proficiency Certificates on Sharia Standards. This Proficiency Certificate of Sharia Standards is an upgraded version of CSAA. While CSAA at that time was only addressing and covering 48 standards, this CPSS, the Proficiency Certificate, covers all the standards up till date, including the latest standards, around 62 standards, 60 to 62 standards are being covered. And this one is being offered in all the multiple languages, the core languages where AAOIFI standards are implemented. AAOIFI standards are translated in more than 5 languages, and 2 of the other languages are in progress, Indonesian and Pashto language. But mainly this exam is taken in English, Arabic, French, and Russian. This itself is the replacement. There is a perception in the market, and I come back to once we introduce what CSA and CA. Remember, this is only the first stream. AAOIFI does capacity building in a variety of streams, and right now I'm talking about the first stream, that is the fellowship program, the world famous fellowship programs. Now I've talked about the CIPA, which was a single exam initially, and now advanced itself to 4 module based exam, much more coverage, much more depth, much more enhancement, and much more knowledge base at the end. Then a sister certificate of CIPA that only focuses on accounting standard, the CPFAS. If you have done CPFAS before you attempt CIPA, guess what? Your main module of the CIPA, that is the financial accounting standard modules, get exempted. So the easier route to do CIPA is to first qualify CPFAS. You qualify CPFAS, you get minimum 1 to 2 exemptions. And the first and foremost exemption is going to be the biggest chunk of CIPA certificates, the financial accounting standards, that carries almost 60% of the weightage of the full module. And then was CSAA, which is now replaced by the CPSS, the Certificate of Proficiency in Sharia Standards, which is a much more valued, enhanced, advanced version covering much more standards offered in multiple languages. Given the importance of Sharia underpinnings, including Sharia standards, Sharia governance, Sharia compliance, as well as Sharia audit, we were made to realize that the development of the industry and the demand and reliance of AAOIFI standards is increasing so much in a multifaceted manner. CSAA was not proving enough to address those growing demand and the importance of AAOIFI standards, because the more the countries are referring to and now adopting AAOIFI standard, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, as we talk, there are around 47 to 50 countries that are in adoption of AAOIFI standards, in reference to AAOIFI standards, and more in pipeline, as a matter of fact. So the demand of AAOIFI standards, the demand pressure from the industry and the countries that are put on us who want to relate with AAOIFI standards, be it accounting or Sharia standards, we were forced to realize that CSAA, the old certification in Sharia advisory and audit, is not enough to address that growing demand, given the adoption and reliance of AAOIFI standards globally. So while we replaced CSAA with CPSS, that is an upgraded version of CSAA, we were also, trusted to create two new programs in the Sharia domain itself. One we called as the Certified Sharia Expert, and the other we called as Certified Sharia Auditor. All of these two new certificates, remember, they are not a replacement certificates for CSAA. The replacement certificate of CSAA is CPSS, the proficiency in Sharia standards. The CSA and CSE is a demand-driven two totally new programs in the domain of Sharia, each carrying now four modules each. The CSE has its own 4 modules. The CSA has its own 4 modules, more like CIPA. So now CIPA, the accounting program fellowship, the CSE, the newest Sharia program, and the CSA, the newest Sharia auditor program, each of them has 4 exams each. As I mentioned, if you have done CPFAS, the Certificate of Proficiency in Financial Accounting Standards, and then attempt CIPA, you get straight away the biggest chunk of the accounting exam exempted. Maybe one more. And if you have done the CPSS, the new CISA, as a matter of fact, the new CSAA, the Certificate of Proficiency in Sharia Standards, then you qualify for certain exemptions in the CSE and CSA as well, based on your CPSS qualification. So CSE and CSA currently only available in Arabic, but by the end of this year, inshallah ta'ala, English language would also be available, exam language, not the standards language, exam language would also be available. These are two new programs, fellowship programs that AAOIFI was thirsted, given the demand of AAOIFI standards, the reliance on AAOIFI standards in the Sharia domain. Now, if you qualify a become a CSA, then you specialize in Sharia auditing. This itself is a huge area. And if you want to become an expert in Sharia standards, Sharia compliance, how to run a Sharia department, how to manage an SSB, how to double check Sharia compliance and whatnot, which is of course linked to audit as well, post and pre that exam and ex post, then you go for CSE, 4 modules each. These are totally new programs. So this is the first stream, ladies and gentlemen, of AAOIFI's capacity building, the mandate that we carry as autopilot, because the moment we develop these beautiful standards in covering all the major domains and growing to cover all the major domains in operation, product, theory, as well as regulatory orient Islamic finance globally, plus, the first stream of capacity building to ensure that people also understand and internalize these standards that actually provide a wholesome understanding end-to-end of the whole philosophy of Islamic finance, be it practical or non-practical, and hence eventually to implement it smoother. Remember, you design it, to implement it, you want people to understand it. And this understanding and implementation is where this whole domain of capacity building is thrusted upon AAOIFI, and AAOIFI has to venture into all of this. Variety of ways of capacity building. First is the AAOIFI famous fellowship programs, started as 2 fellowship programs, now 5 fellowship programs. There are at least 1 or 2 more coming in the due course, but right now 5 fellowship programs in multiple languages. The CIPA, Certificate in Islamic Professional Accounting, the CPFAS, which is a sister certificate for CIPA, gives you exemptions. The 2 new programs, CSA, the Certified Sharia Auditor, CSE, the Certified Sharia Experts in the Sharia domain. And I just told you why these new, what is the basis of creating and coming up with these new programs, given the demand and the reliance and the growing reliance on AAOIFI Sharia standards and other standards as well. And then the replacement of old CSAA is the CPSS, the red one. So this is the first stream of AAOIFI where we provide capacity building of what we create for the whole Islamic finance industry from the fellowship program perspective. So if you qualify this program, you get the legitimacy to write in front of your name, let's say Yousuf Sultan, CIPA, or Yousuf Sultan, CPFAS, or, Mohamed Sano, CSE, Mohamed Sano, CSA, and CPSS and whatnot. So these are those fellowship programs that provides you this huge industry recognized over 170 countries legitimacy and enhance your career prospects as well. So if you qualify any of the AAOIFI programs, be it fellowship programs and other capacity building programs that I'll mention in the other streams, you become globally employable. So you're not only relevant to only Bangladesh market, you instantly become relevant straight away, first up to all those markets that refer or adopt AAOIFI standards that I've mentioned, over 40 over and growing, and who recognize AAOIFI standards, and that's over 170 countries they're talking about. So in totality, instantly, you become internationally, globally employable if you just want to talk about a simple career dynamic mechanics. And of course, the knowledge base, the content base, the understanding base, the theoretical and practical underpinnings that you get for the whole of Islamic economics and finance in all these major spectrums is the biggest takeaway that eventually makes you worthy of getting employed globally. Number of our AAOIFI fellows, almost 4,000 currently and still counting, are sitting at very premier positions. People who are already in the industry, when they get qualified in such programs or any of the AAOIFI capacity building, this is why our capacity building in totality is in so much demand, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, and Yousuf Sultan and the team would vouch for that. That it creates and it increases extremely potent career advancement issues or scenarios, be it you're a fresh graduate and trying to enter the industry, or be it you're already a part of the industry or trying to get promotions. So this is one stream, ladies and gentlemen. For Bangladeshis and other countries similar to Bangladesh, for these programs, AAOIFI does also provide subsidies as well, or subsidized rates. We do that for all of our capacity building themes. And this is the first theme, the fellowship programs. And this is what I told you what CIPA is. These are the 4 modules, the FAR, the audit assurance module, just giving you a brief. Remember, if you have done CPFAS, then you get exempted of this. This is a major, almost 60% of the chunk of the whole 4 modules, the FAR module. This is among the most difficult modules that are considered by the people. So this is, if you have done CSA or CPSS or CSE, then you can get the Sharia standard and Sharia governance exemption based on that, so on and so forth. There is one thing more for folks who are completely fresh. And if they become CIPA, they get to write the title in front of their names. But guess what? You have to do a 1-year internship or a practical experience requirement to be officially qualified as CIPA. This holds true for CSA as well. This holds true for CSE as well, but especially for CIPA. If you are already working, then of course you can submit your current or previous working experience, and that can also perhaps be qualified as an evidence of your practical experience. So there is a 1-year practical experience requirement, the PER requirement, alongside the 4 modules. So you pass the 4 modules, you have to suffice that you are practically qualified at least 1 year in service in any of these domains of CIPA, especially accounting, because it's an accounting related course, and then you can officially use the nomenclature. Again, this is CSE. PER is also a part of it. This is what CSE modules are, the Certified Sharia Expert. Notice that BRE, the business banking, business and regulatory environment, is a common feature, So if you have done CSE or CSA, and then you attempt CIPA, then you can easily get 2 exemptions, the BRE and the SSSG. If you are a CIPA, if you are a CSE or a CSA qualified individual, post your PER, And even if you are CPSS qualified individual, which is the previous CSAA, and then you attempt CIPA, then you get two exemptions, the BRE and SSSG. Why? Because both CSA and CSE carries the BRE as well. So you don't want to do double accounting. You don't want to do it 2 times. So you get 2 exemptions. Yousuf Sultan, this is an important point that you and your team would also want to note down. If you have done alongside the CSA, CSE, or CPSS, the CPFAS fellowship as well, then guess what? You get exempted when you then attempt later on CIPA. You also get exempted a 3rd time, which is the most biggest chunk, the FAR exam, the Financial Accounting Standard exam. And then you want to attempt CIPA, you're only left with Sharia audit. But guess what? Since you've already done CSA, then this will also be possible to get exemptions. So CSA, CSE, and CPFAS, if you have qualified these 3 programs, then you are almost on autopilot criteria to get fully exempted with CIPA, especially if you have done CPFAS. So CIPA becomes possibility for an auto exemption. So all you then need to do is to show your 1-year practical experience requirement evidence, and guess what? You are qualified in 3 to 4 major fellowship programs of AAOIFI, and you write all these nomenclatures in front of you. Now, guess what? From this year, again, because over the years we were facing so much demand, ladies and gentlemen, that while AAOIFI provides these beautiful programs, people were struggling how to get trained in those programs, how to get coached in those programs, how to best prepare in those programs. Yes, AAOIFI provides books. Yes, AAOIFI provides exam practice questions, but sometimes, in fact, oftentimes, this is not enough. You need a guide. You need a preparatory sessions. Self-study is possible, but not everybody can do self-studies. Even when I was trying to attempt CSAA and before qualifying CSAA, the old CSAA, I, who carries certain amounts of experience in Islamic finance, still had to, at least spend 2 to 3 weeks reading through AAOIFI standard, and still I was unsure if I'll be able to manage it or not in the exam day. But alhamdulillah, I did. But I always felt that training and coaching for these or preparation support for these programs is a necessity. And over the years, AAOIFI has been, awash with demand from public at large that something has to be done for helping candidates to increase their chances of passing these exams by helping them, in preparation. So what from this year, ladies and gentlemen, we have launched already as we speak is the first ever time AAOIFI, through its own master trainer experts, by engaging its own experts that who are also involved in exam structuring, exam question making, exam development and standard development, whatnot, the syllabus development for all these fellowship programs, they have been engaged by AAOIFI to the first ever time in 2024 onwards. AAOIFI is offering 10-day or 5-day crash courses, online preparation for all the candidates, globally speaking, to come and get preparation support from none other than AAOIFI itself. Remember, this is a unique opportunity, of course, due to too much demand that AAOIFI was facing, because there are not many centers. In fact, they're very minuscule, 2 or 3 centers that I can name instantly, but I don't want to, that does provide some sort of training and preparation support for these programs. But now it is coming from the examiner itself. It's coming from the certificate owners itself. AAOIFI itself is now venturing into formally and providing this capacity building preparation support for these fellowship programs. 10 days crash course for AAOIFI preparatory for CIPA and CSA and CSE, but especially for CIPA and CPFAS, and 5-day crash course, preparatory crash course, all online by AAOIFI's own experts who are engaged in developing these programs, who are engaged in developing exams for these programs, and who are engaged in standard setting, creating standards for IOFI, which are used in these programs. Some of them will be engaged to provide online classes, 10-day for CPFAS and CIPA, and 5-day crash course online program for CPSS. This is the first time, and April or May is the start of the classes. I will share the calendar later on. This is the first time that IOFI is doing this. Already a lot of inquiries and interest is coming to us. And this is, remember, this is IOFI providing, so it has to make more sense than any other center providing that. So this is something very, very important. People like Yousuf Sultan might as well get engaged in all of that. So it's the first time that such an endeavor from IOFI is heading, and it doesn't stop here. In that online crash courses that we are providing all the candidates all over the world at a very subsidized rate, to be honest, e-learning support. The second thing that we did, that we have created chunk of these modules as online learning material, e-learning support. It will be the first time that IOFI is now launching its e-learning portal, where the same thing that you are learning, not the same, but the same, the coaching that you're learning live on online classes for your own revision and for your own further practice, practical practice, problem solving, case study solving oriented practice, we will also give you online e-learning support that you can use as revision and feel better equipped to qualify the exams and pass the exams, whatnot. So this is a beautiful support that IOFI is now launched for its fellowship programs. And guess what? We are very optimistic and positive that coming from the standard setting body itself that creates this program, that exam sets this program, and from its own experts, this would be really, really helpful to the market, inshallah ta'ala. So this is the first domain, the fellowship programs. Very quickly, there are multiple other domains, ladies and gentlemen. I've just mentioned 5 to 10 days workshop on smart preparation for IOFI fellowship programs. Then we go a little more, online as well, continuing online. The third aspect is IOFI's online professional workshops that is catering a number of core, current and futuristic topics of Islamic finance. I'll share the calendar with you. These workshops are all online, available for the whole year. This year is already launched the calendar of 2024 online IOFI professional workshops. You attend these workshops on those core themes of Islamic finance development. This time, it's the first time that IOFI is offering 27 online workshops. Would you believe 27 online workshop after market feedback that we collected? Again, we were forced to, we normally offer 10, maximum 15, but the market was so effervescent that we had to go beyond normal, and 27 online workshop on 27 different themes of Islamic finance, extremely subsidized. So many discount and free seats are available to attend those online professional workshops, which eventually prepare you back to the fellowship programs. So there is a workshop, a 2 or 3 day workshop on financial accounting standards. You do this and you eventually, prepare yourself for the fellowship programs on CPFAS or CIPA and whatnot. Then a Sharia refresher program, Brother Yousuf Sultan is a part of that. You do this and you get, so all of these workshops, some of them, when you attend them, you automatically get attuned well for the fellowship program. So this is the second stream, the IOFI online workshop. The third, the most important stream that gained a lot of fame, which was launched last year, and this has never happened in Islamic history of Islamic finance before, and history was made last year when IOFI launched what we call as IOFI's Capacity Building Week Festival. It's not weeks, it's week festival. Week festival, capacity building festival of workshops. It is like a buffet of workshops where people gather together in the Kingdom of Bahrain. They are all hybrid, as a matter of fact. But guess what? It was the most well-attended Islamic finance knowledge fest all over the world. History was made in every way. And again, but the Yousuf Sultan and team were a part of that, and they can, express what history was created, where for 7 days, people get stylized capacity building in multiple languages. So we offer minimum 20 workshops as a buffet of workshop. It's a festival. You come in and you run into a festival. It's like a Google office. You come in and you have so many rides that you have to take in Islamic finance skill development. You go for one ride, second ride, third ride. It's a buffet of core Islamic finance topics, a festival environment where people come and get stylized capacity building. It's not only workshops, it includes, it's a week. So 2 days of the week, 7 days, is IOFI annual conference where you get access to a 2-day IOFI Islamic Development Islamic Finance Conference, where you get to hear top level speakers and experts and get knowledge from them on live basis. And then you walk into, from the next days onwards, into workshops itself. So 5 days of workshops. So this is what a 7 days IOFI capacity building festival, we call it the IOFI capacity building week, that has been created for Islamic finance skill development. The fourth item in our capacity building bouquet is in fact the fifth item, is director sensitization program. There are meant mainly for strategists, for policymakers, for decision makers from the regulatory and industry spectrum, who run Islamic finance, who strategize Islamic finance, who make decisions. So we sensitize them, we tell them, we guide them what you're thinking, what your mindset, what your decision making, what your strategy making should be like in consideration of the current and future developments in Islamic finance, country-wise and region-wise and internationally speaking. So it's a very, very popular director sensitization program. As a matter of fact, at the moment we speak, 6 countries have already booked this sensitization programs for their BODs. Bangladesh people and other people can also do that for their industry too. Last but not the least is our customized programs. Guess what? We remain always open that if other than our 5 mainstreams, the fellowship programs, the smart workshops, the sensitization program, the online professional workshop, and our capacity building week, other than that, if you still want something else that only is needed by you and suits you, then we do customized programs for you. We do bespoke programs for you on demand, and all of them in at least 4 languages: English, Arabic, Russian, and French. So this is the whole bouquet of IOFI capacity building and skill development, starting from fellowship programs to online programs, to our IOFI capacity building week, the world famous, to director sensitization programs, to customized programs, and then the smart workshops, first time with the support of e-learning. So this is this whole bouquet that is not even available in any university. The top level university in Islamic finance doesn't do that, but we, IOFI, the premier standard setting body, does it from its own premises, its own domain, its own headquarters. That adds a massive plus for anybody who's attending it. And all of, as I repeat myself, you get IOFI certificate, be it the fellowship or certificates out of these programs, because each program gives you a certificate, then your career enhancement chances increases. In your resume, if I want to hire an Islamic finance individual and I see that you have a list of IOFI certificates, be it through online, be it through capacity building week, be it through director sensitization, customized, or through fellowships, it increases my trust on you and my confidence on you as somebody who carries good enough skills of Islamic finance understanding, especially when you got it from IOFI. So guys, this is what, I wanted to share and I wanted to build. Let me very quickly show you, with your permission, brother, our online calendar, since I've started talking about it. It would not be fair if I don't, share it with the, although it's available everywhere. I don't know if Brother Yousuf, if your team has got it or not, but it's there. I'm just trying to.
The annual workshops, right? Brother Mughees?
Yeah, the annual
Yeah.
online IOFI workshops. I don't know if you have it or not.
We have it. Brother Sano, if you have the document within you, can you please share? I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, we were looking into it.
I have it.
Oh,
I
you
have
have
it.
it.
I don't know
Okay.
if you
All
can
right.
see. I just shared it. I just shared
Yes,
it.
yes.
So
Yes.
yeah. So guys, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what we call as IOFI online professional workshop. This is a 2024 latest calendar, just came out. You know, it's fresh from the oven. Guess what? I mean, in summary, when you qualify yourself through these IOFI online workshops, you get specialized and focused workshops, premier learning content, IOFI certificate of attendance, you get networking opportunities, you get fast track upskilling or skill development and global recognition. It increases your chances and prospects of career enhancement and employment. So these are the six major takeaways that are not available with anybody else. And this is it. Guess what? 10 days crash course for CPFAS, 10 days crash course for CPSS and CIPA, and 5 days crash course for CIPA certain modules. This is exactly what I was talking about. And look at what, and remember, this is common prices, but number of discounts are available, which the calendar also will show you. And look at this. Islamic banking and finance. These are the topics currently being covered online. Then you have Islamic finance and legal and regulatory framework. This is another domain that is being covered. Then you have a capital market domain. Then you have a takaful and risk management domain. Then you have a Sharia governance domain. All of these programs, some of them go back to the fellowship programs and you get well prepared. Then you have the fintech domain. Yousuf Sultan, you're going to be a part of it, inshallah. Then you have IOFI standard refresher. You see that? IOFI standard refresher. This exactly takes you back to your fellowship program preparation. We are doing this IOFI Sharia conference on the 28th and 29th of March. And again, alongside the Sharia conference, we are providing 2 days of workshops. And one of the workshop is going to be on IOFI Sharia standards in hybrid mode in Arabic language only. You can attend it physically if you're coming to Bahrain for the conference, or hybrid as well. And there is one on Sukuk, the Sukuk standard. The Sukuk itself is another workshop that is being offered on the 30th of April and the 1st of May, right after the IOFI Sharia conference, both in Arabic, both available in physical and hybrid mode. Halal industry. This is another topic that we came up with this time, because again, IOFI is now thinking of venturing into halal standard setting as well. And already work is underway at an initial level. Now, look at the enormous discounts policies available. If you are an IOFI fellow, if you are an IOFI CIPA or a CSA or a CPSS or a CPFAS fellow, guess what? You're getting 3 complimentary seats in all of these 27 workshops. So out of 27 workshops, you can select any 3 workshops for free. A total of 3 workshops for free. That is amazing. And if you still want to attend a 4th topic or a 4th workshop, being an IOFI fellow, you get a whopping 65% discount on the original price. Can you believe it? So this is the support that only IOFI fellows get, those who have passed the IOFI fellowship programs, the CIPA, the CSA, the CSAA, the CPFAS, the CPSS, the CSE. Then if you are not an IOFI fellow, and if you are just a regular banker or a regular student or an industry expert, etc., from wherever you are, if you register for 3, you get 33%, you register 5, 50%, you register 10 plus, huge 65% discount. For any Islamic finance regulatory and supervisory body, and if you belong to one of them, you get straight away a total of 5 free seats, meaning 5 workshops out of 27 could be free for you. You can select all the 5 seats in one workshop, and you can select all the 5 seats in 5 different workshops. Boy, oh boy. And any other additional workshop, you're getting a 50% discount on any additional seat, and so on and so forth. For students, we have not mentioned it, but we are dealing on case-by-case basis. For any active student, we are going around, $150 to $200, a massive discount. What is available on $900 normally, or a $2,000 or a $1,300 for students, it's a flat 200 discount, $200. So, but we are dealing it on case-to-case basis only for active students. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that is extremely, extremely important. If you want to register in these workshops, you can write to me or trainings@iofi.com, or Adl is our affiliate partner, Yousuf Sultan and his team. You can approach and register in these workshops through Yousuf Sultan and his team. And guess what? This is one of the premier online workshops for 2024 is available. People love taking that because of the 6 value propositions that we contain. My brother Yousuf Sultan, if a number of the candidates who are attending who are not aware of this and have not seen this calendar, I would request you to please share it with them. Guys, while you have an option to register directly with AAOIFI, you can also go via Adl Advisory and Yousuf Sultan and team, who will entertain it perhaps rather more quickly. So this is what AAOIFI's online workshop is. Capacity Building Week Festival is under construction for 2024. Mark the dates, ladies and gentlemen. It starts from 1st of November and it goes up till 7th of November 2024. The dates have been finalized. 1st of November till 7th of November 2024. That includes the 1st of November, the opening of the festival. 2nd and 3rd of November is the international conference. And then from 4th till 7th of, or 8th of November, 4th, 7th, yes, 4th till 7th or 8th of November will be the remaining buffet of workshops. So it's 1st of November till 7th of November. So it's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, yeah, 1st till 7th is the date of the upcoming huge, globally famous AAOIFI Capacity Building Week Festival. One of a kind. Again, it's amazing. It's amazing. You have to be there to understand what I'm saying. It's knowledge in the air. The knowledge is in the air when you enter the AAOIFI Capacity Building Zone festival premises. So this is it for me, guys. If there is any questions, I'll be happy to take. Otherwise, I'll pass it on to you, Sultan and Mohamed Sano.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mughees. Am I audible this time? Is it clear?
Yes, better. You can continue, inshallah.
All right, wonderful. Alhamdulillah. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mughees, for that very insightful talk, right, highlighting the historical development of AAOIFI's fellowship programs, the certification exams, and highlighting these courses that are available. Right now, I'd like to pass the floor over to our dear Mufti Yousuf Sultan, right, to highlight, to further highlight, let's say, to really drive the point home in regards to the value proposition, as well as what Adl has to offer in relation to these AAOIFI exams and fellowship programs. Fadal.
Thank you so much, Brother Sano. Jazakallah khairan, Brother Mughees. It was a wonderful presentation from your side. If I may request you to stop the presentation, please, so that I can, inshallah, present from my side. Jazakallah khairan. Okay, so Alhamdulillah, it was a very, very comprehensive presentation from Brother Mughees Shaukat on the latest fellowship programs as well as the certification exams. We are running almost out of time, so I will be happy to entertain more Q&As, inshallah. You can see a lot of questions coming up in the chat box. So just a quick wrap up on a few of the things. So first of all, it's a great opportunity for all of us to grab those certifications and fellowship programs from AAOIFI. We have seen a number of fellowship programs introduced, as Brother Mughees Shaukat has mentioned. For example, we saw CIPA has been there for a few years already. Actually, it has been more than a few years, but the revamped version has been there around for a few years already, which includes 4 modules. We have also seen that the previous CSA has been split into basically 2 fellowship programs, CSA and CSE. Until now, both of which are offered in Arabic, but soon it will be offered. Those will be offered in other languages as well, we hope. and each of which also include 4 modules now. And the previous CSAA is now, we can say, almost exactly the same thing, is now called as a CPSS, or Certification of Proficiency in Sharia Standards. And also another one introduced just last year, known as CPFAS, which is basically Certificate of Proficiency in Financial Accounting Standards. I want to highlight one important thing which Brother Mughees has been mentioning as well, is that there are several modules which has quite overlap into one another. For example, if you have completed this one, which is Certificate of Proficiency in Sharia Standards, which is also known as CPSS, what you are actually doing in CPSS is, there was one question in the chat box as well, what is the curriculum? The curriculum is actually all the Sharia standards issued so far, other than the governance standards. In previous CSAA, there was 4 governance standards included. Here is just Sharia standards, all the Sharia standards. Now, if you are preparing for this certificate, what happens? You are also preparing for this module and the CSA, which is module 1 on Sharia standards. You are also preparing for this module and the CSE, which is Sharia Standards FS. You're also preparing for module 4 SSNSG, mostly, I would say, because SSNSG includes Sharia governance as well, which we don't have in CPSS. But when you do the preparation for the Sharia standards, you mostly cover this module as well under the CIPA. So basically, with one single preparation, you are able to prepare actually for 4 different certifications or modules under different certifications, right? So this is a very good thing. Similarly, if you have prepared for BRE, for example, which is Business and Regulatory Environment, you are also able to take CIPA's BRE. In fact, if you have taken BRE in either of these one, you can get exemption on the other one. So that's how the certificates are designed and revamped. So these are more dynamic and get more exemptions. Now, which one to start with? I think one path Brother Mughees have shared, which I really like, is that instead of going with maybe CIPA or directly with CSA and CSE, you can go with these pocket certifications. Why? Because you can get a certificate as quickly as possible. It's just one exam and you get the certification. And from there, you can get exemption to the, for example, as I mentioned, if you did CPSS here, you can get exemption of the SS module in these, all 3 of these, because it has a lot of, overlaps. So that, similarly, the CPFAS as well. If you have done CPFAS, then perhaps you will get exemption on FAR module in the CIPA, this one, the Financial Accounting and Reporting. So that will give, today we want to take instant gratification. We want to, get acknowledged with a small certification. So that will give us a quick certification. Later on, we can also take the path for the full fellowship programs. So I really love this approach. And I know in Malaysia, we know this called as micro assessment or something like that, where each of micro modules are also recognized, and together this can be bundled together for a bigger diploma or master's or bachelor's program nowadays. So that is something I would say IOP has taken the route of. And Brother Mughees also shared about a lot of workshops that are going to be held through IOFI, which we really, really appreciate. And I was there in Bahrain last year for the Sharia Boards Conference in the month of May, as well as the November with the ISDB conference. And there was the IOFI capacity building workshop, and it was really wonderful. You get the industry leaders, which is very difficult to meet elsewhere. And then you can learn directly from the leaders, and it was in a hybrid mode so that those who have joined online could also participate from. And we hope that this year also it will be another successful one, inshallah. I just want to end my presentation or my speech with a few announcements. We have seen that the Mughees have already mentioned that, mashallah, IOFI has already taken this initiative to provide training on a number of certifications, which is high quality training as well. And at the same time, many of the training providers across the globe, including Adl, we also have our own training. And each of these training has some, different incentives for the trainees or for the examinees. In our case, what we are trying to do is we try to bundle this 59 Sharia standards, so all the Sharia standards issued, in a manner that can be easily grasped by those particularly who don't have any idea of Sharia previously, who doesn't come from Sharia background, and it's a bit new thing for them. So we try to bundle all those Sharia standards in a manner that can be easily understood. And furthermore, we try to explain the rationale behind it, behind each of these standards. What happens is when we go through a lot of standards separately, often we don't understand the basic rationale behind each, and we find it quite, disconnected from each other, which is not. Each of the standards are like part of the chain. It's all connected. It's all interlinked. It's just we need to understand the Sharia rationale. So that is how we developed our module, and we are going to introduce this training just after Ramadan, inshallah, because there are a number of exams taking place in the month of June. I think we have mentioned few. For example, CPFAS there is an exam for June. CPSS, there is also an exam for June, and as well as September. CSA also, you can see the SS module will be in September, and also CSE, the CSS module will be in September. So the training that we are going to conduct, inshallah, we are trying to make it in a way that you can appear for CPSS, you can appear for the CIPA SSNSG module, or you can appear for SS module under CSA or CSE. That's how we are going to do it. And inshallah, with me, there will be other experts who will be joining as well. I think Brother Mughees had to leave. Brother Mughees, if you are still there, sorry, I just noticed your message. There are a few questions, if you could respond, if you are still there. Otherwise, we understand, inshallah. Is Brother Mughees still around? I just seen his message. Brother Mughees, if you are able to talk, then I will just hand over to you.
I don't think he's here anymore.
Okay, he's in the list. Okay, never mind. So what we're trying to mention is that this is the first training that we are going to provide, inshallah. If there are more interest in for other modules as well, we are going to share a form shortly, inshallah. If you register your interest, we will let you know, inshallah, for the upcoming training as well. And all the other workshops and exams and training provided by AAOIFI, if you go through Adl, inshallah, there will be further discount. How much would be the discount? We will not disclose right away. Inshallah, if you write to us, if you register with us your interest, and if you contact us, inshallah, we'll give you further information, inshallah, over time. Last but not least, this is our LinkedIn and Facebook. You can just search for Adl Advisory and please follow our pages to get updated. Keep yourselves updated. And this is the form that I have been mentioning about, where we are just registering your interest for the exams, upcoming exams, as well as the training that we are going to conduct right after Ramadan, inshallah. So please register your interest. I think we will be also sharing the link for those who are in joining us in Zoom. We will be also sharing the link in the chat box. Please feel free to register your interest there, and inshallah, we'll get back to you. Our team will get back to you, inshallah. So that's it. From us, with that, I think we can go to the Q&A, Brother Sano, inshallah.
Jimmy. Okay, so thank you very much to you, Dr. Mufti Yousuf Sultan. Let's open up the Q&A right now. So I've been trying my best to consolidate questions to avoid redundancies, right? So I think the questions come down to three. They can be categorized into three groups, right? So the first of these questions is in regards to those that have already done exams like the CSAA, right? They're asking, right, what would they need to do with the current examinations, right? So there's the CSE, there's the CSA, and there's CIPA, for example, right? Those with the CSAA, are they required to undergo some kind of upgrading of the CSAA? Could you answer that question, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Right. So basically, if I understand correctly, the gist of the question is, if we are already a CSAA from the previous version, do we need some sort of upgrades? The answer, as I know, is no. Is for the new, certificate takers. If you want to take further certification, so there is this new a splitted certificate, I would say CSA and CSE. Now, the major difference between the previous CSA and the new CSA and CSE is that the previous CSAA was more about reading the standards, grasping the standards, Sharia standards, as well as few governance standards. But the new CSA and CSE doesn't only rely on the standards, but there are reading materials similar to CIPA, study books, study text, also we can call it. And these are a blend of not only Sharia, but also bringing in structuring, then business itself, regulatory environment. And if you are talking about CSA particularly, which is about auditor, there is an audit aspect as well. Let me just quickly go through it again, if someone has missed it out. So if you go to, for example, this one, CSA, so you can see there is a module of Sharia audit, and then a separate module on financial accounting and auditing as well. Because this one, when it comes to Sharia auditor, it's not only about auditing particular aspects of Sharia, but it also has a strong interrelation with financial auditing as well. So they have put that. That's why they have put this auditing aspect with more weightage, and they have also put the BRE or Business and Regulatory Environment module, which was previously only part of CIPA. And why the rationale is also easily understandable, because if you want to audit, you also need to understand the business and regulatory environment. If you just understand Sharia and nothing else, then it will be very difficult to audit operational aspects, operational Sharia aspects. Likewise, for CSE, which is Certified Sharia Expert, so what they have additionally put in is basically two different things. One is the financial structuring and development. It's basically more about structuring the products, etc., and also some technical standards issued by AAOIFI. Other than that, the business and regulatory environment, which is also part of the CSA program and CIPA program, is also included here. In a nutshell, in other words, it's like AAOIFI is saying, you need to understand the business and regulatory environment, no matter what you are going to offer, basically. So that is the main difference, I would say. Yeah. Sano.
All right. Thank you very much for the Mughees. Mufti Yousuf, the next question would be in regards to exemptions, right? A lot of people have asked regarding the exemptions, right? So I think the three main concerns, the three main categories of these exemptions would be in regards to, firstly, the certified chartered accountant from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, right? It's referred to as ICANN, right? Do they get exemptions in relation to CIPA, for example? Holders of whether it's master's or PhD degrees in Islamic banking and finance, or in Sharia for that matter, right? Do they get any exemptions with regards to CIPA? And last but not least, those who have done the CSA or the CSAA previously, do they get exemptions, right? So those are the three gist of exemptions.
Right. So for the exemptions, the third one that you mentioned, if someone has done CSAA, will he get exemption of, let's say, SS and SG module from CIPA, SS module from CSE, SS module from CSE? I think in some cases, AAOIFI has explicitly mentioned. In other cases, also most probably possible, because the modules are same, the underlying contents are same. But if you are talking about any external certification like ACCA, for example, or let's say someone has a master's or other degrees on Islamic banking and finance, I think this will be a bit tricky. I don't have the answer with me right now. It would have been better if we had Brother Mughees here. But in general, in common sense, the content of ACCA and FAR is totally different, in the sense that FAR is more about how you're going to implement that in the setting of Islamic financial institutions, which is not covered at all under ACCA program. So I find it really difficult to say that, I mean, it will be exempted or not. Perhaps we can look back into the documents later on, inshallah. But most probably the answer is no. I cannot certainly say because I don't have the answer right away in front of me, but most probably the answer is no. For the other certificate, other university programs, I think there is no exemption, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay. One final question, I believe, is the people asking, how do they register? How did they register for the programs? How did they register for the certification exams? Right, and how did they register for the trainings?
Right. So for the exams, you can register directly with AAOIFI, but then you need an exam center, right? So in Malaysia, we are an exam center. Adl Advisory is an exam center. You can register with us as well. We are a registration center and as well as an exam center. What it means is that you can register with us.
Yeah.
You can register with us. You can sit in exams in other countries as well, or you can register and sit for the exam with us as well. And particularly those who are in this region, for example, not only in Malaysia, for example, if you are in Singapore, if you are in Brunei, if you are in Indonesia, you're always welcome to sit the exam with us in Malaysia. This is for the exam. For the training, if you are taking training with AAOIFI, then one route is directly registering for the training and workshop with AAOIFI. You can also register with us. So, for example, if you have seen some training and workshops in the AAOIFI's website, you can quickly, email us also as well. I would request my team to share our email address in the chat box. Is basically salam@adladvisory.co, salam SALAAM at the rate adladvisory.co, or you can write us in our LinkedIn page as well as Facebook or any other media. So if you register with us, as Brother Mughees mentioned, perhaps you can hear us from us quickly, as well as you can lock further discount, inshallah. The third aspect of training is what we are going to provide from Adl Advisory. So it will be more price efficient. We are going to make it more customized so that it is easily grasped, particularly for those who are not from Sharia background at all. We want to make it as easy as possible so that you can understand the main logics. And furthermore, we are going to also make some mock exams so you are more familiar with the patterns of the questions and everything. So if you are interested for that, because this is why we have provided the form. You can register your interest for the exam or the training or both, inshallah. And what we will do is, based on your interest, we will send you a link for further registration form. For example, for AAOIFI certification exams and fellowship programs, there is a detailed form to be filled out. So we'll send you those forms, inshallah, by email. Once you have registered your interest with us, you have to go and finalize the forms. And once you have completed the forms, you will be also asked to make the payments, which is applicable to you. Inshallah, there will be discount as well when you are registering with the Adl Advisory. And once the registration is complete, the next application will be from AAOIFI directly, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan.
Okay. Jazakallahu khairan, brother, Dr. Mufti Yousuf Sultan. I think with that, those would constitute all the questions that were asked, the main questions. Right. If people have further questions to ask, how can they reach you? I guess that would be a good ending and concluding question.
Sorry again, what was the question again?
Asking if people have further questions to ask regarding the training or the
All right,
how can they reach you?
Yeah, so I think you can reach out to us, as I mentioned, by our email. So please share our email again in the chat box. You can send us your questions and messages through our website as well. If you go to adladvisory.co, you will find there is a contact form to write to us. You can also send us messages via our LinkedIn page. We are more active in LinkedIn, but we are also active in Facebook as well. You can post your questions, ask us, and please follow our pages so that you don't miss out important updates or discounts, etc. on regards to not only AAOIFI certificates or fellowship programs, but other Islamic finance training programs as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mufti Yousuf Sultan. And with that, I think we have come to the end of our session. Right, as mentioned, for those of you who had questions that were not answered, I do apologize, but we are quite short on time. Inshallah, your questions were very important. But inshallah, you could send them in, whether it's via LinkedIn, via the website, and other platforms, inshallah. With that, we conclude our webinar. Thank you very much for your active participation. The chat box has been going bizarre, right, throughout the session. Thank you very much, Dr. Mufti Yousuf Sultan, Mr. Mughees Shaukat. You guys have been great sports throughout spending time from your weekend, right, away from the family, to really, what's the word, share your knowledge. Jazakumullahu khairan kathiran. And once more, thank you all. for
Brother
participating.
Sano, I think it's Ramadan from tonight, from in most part of the world. Yeah, let's also ask for du'as, inshallah.
MashaAllah. For those of you who are fasting on Monday, tomorrow, I believe, which will be the most majority of you, Ramadan Mubarak in advance. But in Malaysia over here, we were fasting on Tuesday, so we're still on holiday. Yeah, you guys have a wonderful week ahead of you. And Assalamu alaikum. Oh wait, the last question. Someone's asking if the session is recorded and if the recordings would be shared. I think that's an important question. Would the sessions be shared? Mufti, would the sessions be shared?
Yeah, inshallah, it will be shared, inshallah. Those who have registered with us, you should be receiving a recorded version, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The session will be shared to those of you who have registered. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a wonderful week.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.